So in Canada, they announced this week that they were going to implement some measures to prevent the truckers who have been protesting for various reasons, to prevent them from getting access to funds to continue their protest. And one of the things that they talked about was preventing them from getting funds in cryptocurrency. And I immediately, my ears went up, Sean Brizendine, about that, because way I understand it is, this is not a fiat currency. It has no government control. And I really wanted to talk to you, being a blockchain expert, about if that is even possible. Can a government prevent somebody from receiving funds in cryptocurrency?
Well, first off, thank you, Jane, for inviting me here to do this show. It's good to see that you are physically back there at the NASDAQ. So I guess things are getting better. Okay.
Getting better.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Technically, no, and possibly yes. If they were to take the addresses that the Canadian Freedom Convoy truckers are using, the demonstrators, in order to have Bitcoin sent to them, it's possible that they could put it on, for instance, like the OFAC list, the addresses. I don't know how, what type of due process is used in that to come to that conclusion, to be able to get them on the OFAC list. I don't know whether they have actually connections with OFAC, or if they have their own version of that. Now, most likely they can request the exchanges like they said they would do, from sending to those addresses, and I guess that the exchanges would set their AI up or their withdrawal list for flagged addresses that they can't do that. But still, these are individual accounts. It's lacking due process. It's very convoluted. They're almost acting in real time, very, very, very fast, and I don't really know if that's possible. Usually Bitcoin is what solves this kind of thing. Whereas the GoFundMe, they froze the $10 million, TD Bank, that's pretty easy. Although we've never seen anything like that before happen so fast, but this unilateral freezing of bank accounts are something that most likely we're going to start seeing in the future when, your demonstrators have a cause that they are protesting that is most likely not very popular with the government. And so can they do it with Bitcoin? Most likely no. They can flag it if you're sending it from an exchange, this and that. But the thing is that they can just withdraw to their own client side personal wallet and send it to them, that way. However, will they get in trouble for sending to a restricted address down the road? That's possible. So it's just all going to play out in a very unusual way, and only time will tell. But in most cases, no.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is very censorship resistant.
Well, yeah, and I figure, so we all know that you have this, how many characters of an address. Nobody knows whose account that is. And so how do they know, say on a Coinbase or a Trust Wallet or something, how do they know that is a protester's account? Because it's just this mismatch of hash numbers.
Well, technically, depending on how they're doing it, if they're using Tor, Onion browser, or, there's IPs. And so these addresses, even though they don't have a name next to it, technically through open source intelligence, you can usually find out who owns the address in most cases, for people that use the front end internet.
So one of the things when I first heard them say that, I was like, that's going to take at least months. My guess is subpoenas.
Technically, no. There's a company called Chain Analysis that really, really has good software to be able to do this. Also, I'd heard that Coinbase had sold some software to the IRS that would allow for very, very fast type, forensic analysis of addresses and, locating individuals and stuff. So, it's really up in the air right now. I mean, you can do it, and it just may be a matter of time before they come to see you.
Yeah.
But actually, in real time, as the blockchain is open, all this is pretty visible, and there are companies like Chain Analysis that are just the experts at that. So
Interesting. Okay. Thank you so much, Sean, for your time.
absolutely.